Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about WWDC 2021. So, this event was announced on March 30th, which at the time of filming this is about a week and 2 days ago. So, that's 9 days now. Now, Apple's WWDC Worldwide Developer Conference is going to be in a fully virtual format like it was last year, meaning we'll get another one big, nice, fancy Apple event before possibly returning to in-person events. Now, we don't know what is really gonna happen. We do know it's June 7th through 11th, meaning June 7th is going to be the day of their big event where it's like, here's new iOS, here's new macOS, here's new watchOS, and new tvOS, new audio OS for the HomePods, and maybe some new features and whatnot. So, last year's WWDC was also in this format because of the pandemic that we are in, unfortunately. But I do have to say, I give Apple major props because their virtual events, from their WWDC to the announcement of the Series 6 Apple Watch and the iPad Air, to their iPhone event, to their Mac event, they have blown it out of the water. And I gotta give them major props for that because I kinda don't want to see Apple steer away from these virtual events, although I do want them to go back to the in-person ones because they were always so cool to see all the creators go within the recent years and also experience it and get hands-on with it right after the fact. Instead of having to download the betas and kind of do it on yourself, there were hands-on areas, I believe, to demo the certain features. So now, we would be getting iOS 15, iPadOS 15, tvOS 15, macOS 15, watchOS 15, and and AudioOS 15. So, iPhone OS, or iOS, is going to be on the iPhone 7 and later. It was rumored that Apple will be dropping support for the iPhone 6s, which has been supported now since 2016, which is actually insane that the iPhone has been supported for 5 years. Although I think Apple might keep it going one more year, in my personal opinion, and have it be supported on iOS 15, although we will only know on June 11th. So, we haven't really heard any rumors about it, although we have heard of potentially new icons to match that of Big Sur. Now, I don't know about you, but if you remember back when iOS 7 was released, that was the major change from skeuomorphism to neo-skeuomorphism, which is what our phones look like now. And now the icons have changed as time has gone on, but they've been tweaked very little. I'm ready for some major redesign, which is what Apple has been doing with their iTunes Connect app, as well as their Apple Music for Artists app. They have given them some depth and made them look like the icons on macOS Big Sur, which I am fully on board with to see the macOS icons on my phone because it combines skeuomorphism and neo-skeuomorphism and makes it kind of like a 3D effect, but the icons we already know and love, which I am a major fan of. Now, I'd also like to see Apple include a way to, by default, customize your app icons like certain apps do already. Now, certain apps do this already because the developers have implemented them, but Apple official apps and most apps do not. So I would love to see Apple's own apps integrated instead of having to use the Shortcut app, as well as it to be integrated then by more third-party apps as well to put it in. So now iPadOS is going to be released alongside iOS. So they are going to be most likely pretty similar with the new icons and the new design, as I said before. Although I would like to see the app library come over from iOS to iPadOS, kind of like in the dock or some way, because it would be nice to just have all my apps there. Kind of like how on Mac you have Launchpad, which houses all of your apps. So I would like to see that because it would be great to do that. So we will see the developer beta on June 7th as well. So we will have hands-on with these features. Personally, I don't know if I will be installing this. I did install iOS 14 on my iPhone last year, and it was fine. It was great. Apple blew it out of the park. Because with iOS 13, I actually waited till beta 8 to test it, just because I wanted dark mode, and that was a week before they released it, and I was just at that point I was I should have just waited, but I did it, and I installed iOS 13, and it was great on my XS Max at the time, because that's the phone I had when I was running the beta. And then next we would see watchOS 8. So currently we have watchOS 7. And I gotta give Apple major props for how far they have brought the Apple Watch, because I go back, there have been times where I've gone back and just looked back or used my old Apple Watch, and I'm just like, wow. So Apple has brought in a lot of faces to the Apple Watch that allow you to customize your face. Currently, I am rocking the Nike, which one is this one off the top? This is, I believe, the Nike Compact, which has the Nike symbol, or the Nike time, the UV index, the weather, as long as my activity ring with it. And I gotta say, it is great. But I would like to see some new watch faces, possibly a watch face store, although this is something we see rumored every year, because we all want it, especially because, like, I know other, such as Android and OnePlus watches and all of them, they do have an app store, along with Fitbit, where you can, a watch face store, where you can go and buy the watch faces. So it would be cool to get something like this, because I know I would like to customize it, and I know there are apps that do so, and it is cool to see some of the apps, because, I mean, personally, some days, I'm like, I don't know what to make my watch face, because I don't want to use the Nike one today, because it doesn't match my outfit, so I will end up using the Memoji face, which I've become a very big fan of. It's just my Memoji with a blue background, the date, as well as my activity on the bottom, because you are only given one complication of it. So now, we would also see tvOS 15, which honestly, I don't really know what Apple can do other than change the Siri remote to give us a better Apple TV experience, because the software on the TV is so well polished that I love it so much, because I use it every day to watch TV, of course, but I don't know. Although there has been a rumor that there will be a refreshed design, which they did do with the release of the Apple TV 4, which is now the HD, called Apple TV HD. And which was the conversion over to tvOS from the old operating system that they were using. So, it would also have a children's mode with parental controls and screen time management tools. Now, I don't really think we would need screen time management tools, personally, in my opinion, because do we need screen time on a TV? I don't know. Personally, I don't think so. Now, we would also see macOS 12, which is honestly rumored to be so many different landmarks, because Apple is most likely going to continue the landmark naming as they have done since macOS Yosemite, or before Yosemite, off the top of my head. So now we honestly don't know what to expect, although we do know it would bring about a great Mac experience that would be built off of Big Sur exclusively for the M1 Max, as well as the Intel Max, because Apple is not going to stop supporting the Intel Max, most likely up until the very last moment that they have to, because there are no longer a possible way to do it. So now we are also expecting to see new devices such as Apple Tags, which the other day Apple did announce that they are opening their Find My network to third-party to third-party developers and experiences. So you can now, if in the Find My app, it'll have a little icons tab where it says items, and you can use that to view your lost items that are not an Apple product. So Belkin has some earphones that have been released with this. There's also been a bike, I believe, as well as a tracker from Chipotle, which actually beat Apple to the punch on AirTags, which I do find very odd. I thought Apple would have released AirTags with this, like many others did. But we have not heard anything from Apple on AirTags. Maybe we'll see them at WWDC. Now, there is also expected to be a VR headset. Now, they said this is to be at an in-person event, and now I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt, because I don't think Apple would be releasing a VR headset this year. I think, personally, maybe next year or in a year from now. But, again, it's always fun to look at the rumors, because these are all only rumors. But to see what Apple does year after year is honestly incredible, because they do great things. And this time we get WWDC early, so they have been preparing for it. Or not early, just at normal time, because last year's WWDC was actually at the end of June, which Apple has never done. And I would also like to see new watch bands at WWDC. So we have gotten allegedly rumored colors, which is a purple, a green, a blue, and a peach of some sort. But I'm really liking the blue. But I want to know about the Nike bands and more bands like that, because we've only seen those in the iPhone cases for the 12 Pro Max series with MagSafe. So we would get those along with other bands such as the leather ones and whatnot, but we have not seen anything yet. And it's almost been a month past when Apple usually does it, because they do it around the 18th, I believe, of March. And it is now April 8th at the time of filming this, at least, and we don't have anything. So we'll have to wait and see. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.